All right, you're not supposed to be here. That's your spot. Hold on to that, would you? Stand, I'll sit later. Hey guys, welcome back to the After Hours. I'm the A-Tail Beast, and today we're gonna talk about this week's AI stocks. When it comes to technology, in the back of everyone's mind, they're thinking, how far can technology go? And Wall Street knows that you are thinking that. And so what they do is they promote technology and they wrap it up into a little ball, and then they package this dream and they give it back to you. What they call it is AI. You probably remembered where I talked about ChatGPT. Well, the small cap company AMST just released news about ChatGPT 4. This is actually a smaller company in the chain of technology. At the top, you have the tech leaders like Microsoft, Google, or Nvidia, which is Nvidia. And all those tech leaders have CEOs. Someone like Bill Gates, Elon Musk from Tesla, and many more. They are giving the direction for when it comes to technology. AI is the fantasy technology. It's a part of the market that is untouched. No one understands the unexplored. So we saw the hype from AI start to rear its head this week. And what happened is, over the past few weeks, months, we've seen the ticker AI, which is the company C3.ai. They are the ones leading the charge when it comes to the development of AI. And what's happened recently is not only have you received an AI chat, AI art, AI pizza, put the word AI in front of it. Everything that's already out there, and then give it back to you. Most recent thing I've heard is AI therapy. Well, at the end of the day, it's actually just a mimicking program. They train a lot of data and then put a language model on top of it. They tell it to give feedback that's really similar to what an actual person would say, and it gives you the idea someone is actually behind it. And now you think it can actually predict something. It's actually only trained on past knowledge. AI has been studied for decades now. The closest thing they have got to AI is all these really smart computers, which are very useful, but a lot of people are selling it for more than what it is. They're packaging up a dream and they're giving it back to you. Now, this week we saw runs in the small caps. The small caps like GFAI, SLUN, BBAI, AMST, and AI. All of these are the penny stocks. Now, AI is actually a mid cap or a large cap. It's the ringleader of all the AI hype. Now, that hype, it was put on stop, not just because the tech leaders said maybe we should pause the development. If the big names can't make money from it, they don't want it being developed. You had Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Steve Wozniak. You had all these tech leaders come out and said,
maybe we should pause on the development. We don't understand where it's gonna go. Based off of this research and this graph that shows your cash flows, you're not making as much money as you say you are. And I say this because a typical software company doesn't balloon in revenue and have high profit margins like you've been doing.
At the end of the day, his argument had a little bit of sense to it, enough to make C3.ai drop 26% in one day, up to 38% over the week. Now, towards Friday, we saw a response from AI. They responded with a letter that debunked everything he said. And so into the weekend, we saw there was an 8% increase. Now at this point, because there was a hype that led to AI going over 200% over the past year, and then bad news that was thrown at it, and then later debunked, all that's gonna do is increase the chances that the hype is gonna continue. Now at the same time, there was other bad news in the market, like oil being cut at 1 million barrels per day starting in May, but that all got buried by this AI hype. It did spark some energy stocks, which means that there's two themes this week. There's AI stocks and this hype, and now there's oil stocks and it's oil shock, which caused a lot of attention to go to the energy stocks. Now, these are starting to butt heads, but I still think that AI is gonna take over. So next week we see CPI data as well as the FOMC minutes come out on Wednesday. This is always a target for a lot of people. So we get to see if the recent banking crisis and all the other data that just came out is actually going to lead to cuts in the future. Most people think that it's just going to stay the same because that's all we can afford now. But with this AI hype mixed with the oil shock and oncoming data results from the FOMC and the CPI, I think this is all just a recipe for another wake up for the market. Not to mention, since we just came off of a banking crisis about a week or two ago, the earnings for those banks, the largest banks, are Friday, which is also going to pull the stock market up. Pressure was put on banks lower in the chain. That created a monopoly of deposits towards the larger banks. The earnings for those banks come out Friday. Now you mash all these together and it's gonna give you something that is worth trading. Now, recent data says there's a 30% chance that there's gonna be a 25 basis point cut, but we don't know. So C3 posted a statement that discredited the letter from Carousel Capital. They believe that this creatively made letter was created from a short seller that was shorting the stock. And so when it went down 26% on Wednesday, they think this was some type of manipulation from the fund itself. But they quickly released a statement that debunked everything in there. So the way it is perceived is it is just an opportunity to buy the dip, and it may even add fuel to the hype. When it comes to AI, that's C3 AI, they went down after that letter came out. Now, stocks don't normally go all the way up or all the way down. They have a correction period. What that was Wednesday was just a correction. Now we may be starting a new run. The previous run ran at least 3 days. Now, what's really going to be important to me and other traders out there is the sympathy plays that come from that. Because when we had that small pop going into the weekend for AI, created a larger run inside of the smaller caps. And you can see that in GFAI and AMST and BBAI and all the other smaller cap AI names. Now, AI is important, but it can be dangerous. Remember, this is the same misinformation that's being put out there. And now it's backed by AI images and misinformation coming from chats that people believe has real-time data, but it doesn't have real-time data. It is just taking older data and then packaging it in a way that attracts your attention and grabs your empathy. And that's why they're considering AI therapy. Do your own research and watch more comedians, because there's one comedian that was ruthless.
Kevin, Bing does not have feelings. Bing doesn't even know you're there, buddy.
His name is Adam Conover. And when he came out speaking about AI and Silicon Valley, he held no punches. But alright guys, that should prepare you for what happens next week. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.